Hello, my name is Marcus Bonner, and in this homework/activity assignment, I'm going to be discussing the probability concepts for business statistics, section 2. The task, purpose, and outcome. So the task will be to select two probability concepts from the textbook that can be explained and illustrated. Purpose will be to understand how probability is expressed and how it helps determine various outcomes, and the outcome will be to be able to analyze and describe the likelihood of a future event occurring. So on this slide, I got this chart directly from the book, and it basically breaks down the approaches to probability. You have objective and subjective. Under the objective, you have classical and empirical probability. Subjective basically is based upon the information that's available. For my presentation, I'm going to only be focusing on the objective approaches to probability, giving examples of a classical and an empirical. So with classical probability, I used the real estate data that was given, and I tabulated the number of houses that had no pools versus the houses with one pool. And so I basically wanted to predict and show the numbers, the percentages of numbers of houses with no pool, which is 38 out of a total of 105, to give me 36% of houses with no pool, and conversely 67 over 105, 64. So that's an example of a classical probability showing houses with no pool versus houses with one pool. Empirical probability was a little different. Basically, empirical probability, it is based on the number of times an event occurs as a proportion of a known number of trials. So with the real estate data, probability determines the future outcome of of a known trial. It's kind of hard to tell with the real estate data what the future outcome would be to word it. So, but for demonstration purposes, I tabulated that houses with 4 bedrooms, there were 19 out of a total number of 105. So you have an 18% chance of owning a house with 4 bedrooms. So for future purposes. Another way I can explain it, and what helped me to understand empirical data, was from the book. They gave an example of students assigned and registered to business statistics. There were 80 students. 12 of them earned an A. So what is the likelihood that a student will earn an A? It's 12 out of 80, or 15%. So that is basically how I formulated my data using the examples from the book and the real estate data. So in conclusion, we talked about the probability measures. I went on ahead and broke down what is subjective and objective, and I gave examples of a classical probability and empirical probability. Thank you for your time, and enjoy the rest of your evening.